Welcome to A Case for the Mondays. Today, we find out why Debo won't be saying, "That's my bike, punk," anytime soon, how Baker Mayfield feels right about now, and what is the biggest factor in this year's NBA playoffs. So drink yours while we debate ours. It's all on A Case for the Mondays. Welcome to A Case for the Mondays, where we will tell you why we were right and you were wrong. I am Adam Marino, as always. Joining me per usual, hailing from a nice-looking flannel, although no undershirt, is Caleb Westra.
What's up, guys? How we doing today?
And also, today we have joining us the only Dodger fan that I can actually stand, and mostly it's because he's my first cousin. Luigi Marino, what's going on?
What's up, Adam?
All right, so let's get into it. Our first segment is called, what is it?
It is the opening case.
Please try to play it off.
It's
yes.
It's
So
a pause for effect.
So opening case is our first segment where we get into the most popular chatter around the water cooler. So we're talking football today, boys. So, first of all, did you guys see what Baker Mayfield, what he tweeted?
Yeah, so Baker tweeted something dumb, pretty much. I mean, like,
It's a bad move.
It just didn't make sense. And then he went on a podcast and basically told everybody that I wish I could go into people's offices and boo
them.
Yeah.
Like, now here's the thing that we were talking about this earlier. Wouldn't you prefer that?
Yeah. So I work at an elementary school, so I'm getting cussed out by kids and parents all day long. All day long. Like, Baker, please come to my school, hang out with me. You can boo me. I'll write you a referral. And also, I'll compare it to this. Baker Mayfield, you play in the same division as the Steelers and the Ravens. You should be worried about the defensive ends and the linebackers.
Right. Like, he shouldn't be worried about people booing him when he has linebackers trying to rip his head off.
Devin Bush is coming.
Just in the same way that you shouldn't be worried about some guy in a bad Progressive commercial booing
me at
while
work.
you have kids cussing you out at work.
Yes.
It's about equal.
Just because I didn't give him a second grilled cheese at lunch.
Yeah, like
what?
Dude, you wish you could boo us?
All
like,
I think
bro.
about, is a linebacker sitting across from him, looking like the villain from Spider-Man when he goes and wrestles in the first Spider-Man. He's like, boom, so is ready.
So, yeah, Baker, not a good look. We don't know where he's going to end up. Luigi, what's your best spot for Baker Mayfield?
Well, my best spot is Baker needs to shut up. Here's here's two words.
Shut up and throw the football.
So, hey, Baker, if you don't throw interceptions, people don't boo you.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Play better.
Try not to.
And you won't get booed at home.
Try not to suck.
No, that literally. What do you need, a better defense compared to what you have? Would you need a better running game? Do you need better receivers? Oh, by the way, the guy you sent off had 8 touchdowns
And won a Super Bowl.
in half a season.
Hurt. Won the Super Bowl, hurt.
Yeah. So, yeah. Literally, Baker Mayfield has talked himself into the backup role somewhere out there in the NFL because, honestly, there's only one franchise who might use him, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. Do you think Pete Carroll really wants to deal with Baker Mayfield after getting rid of a guy like Russell Wilson,
who was
the
a
ultimate
choir boy?
professional?
He was a choir boy.
Seriously.
Now, okay, now speaking
The guy
of
wore
that.
Seahawk pajamas. You know he did.
Yeah.
He's weird like that.
With the footies.
The footy ones.
What about, based on NFL moves right now, current rosters, the roster I have ready to make the biggest splash compared to last year is actually the Denver Fighting Russell Wilsons.
Yeah.
On Twitter, I saw they changed their name.
Mm-hmm.
The stadium.
It beats the Commanders.
The stadium's on fire.
Yeah, the stadium was on fire. That is correct. But I mean, by far, right? Now, I know they're in the AFC West. It's tough. But as far as making a splash, I have Denver. Who do you guys have?
So, because of Baker Mayfield not being there,
And
and,
it's-
an alleged sex assaultist being there,
Right.
I have
Allegedly.
If he can
And
play.
22 times.
if he can play, and if Baker gets shipped off to Seattle for DK like they're talking about,
Oh, that's not.
I have the Browns.
I mean,
Because look, Steelers don't have Big Ben.
right.
They need to figure stuff out. Lamar Jackson had an up-down year, and Cincinnati,
Mostly up.
Cincinnati, Cincy, we know what we're gonna get, but injuries happen, and you can
Sure.
still get second place in your division and end up going to the Super Bowl.
And with Cincinnati, once you're at the top, it's hard to stay there.
yes,
So that's fair too.
I would say with Cincinnati, they're the young team that could be, and I don't want to say it because people said it already. I don't want to say that they're the '84 Dolphins, the Dan Marino
Where they
syndrome,
just never get
where
there.
you say these guys could be great for a long time, and all of a sudden, 15 years go by, and you're like, man, that guy's career was amazing.
So
but he
here's-
never had one.
here's the thing
but
about-
that's the type of team that can fall into that trap.
And-
tough division, really great conference. That's a tough
Yeah.
deal.
What's funny is what me and Luigi said right when the season started is we shared a funny meme about Joe Burrow not being able to hold the ball long enough because he's just going to get killed. And it was like the laughing stock kind
Yeah.
of thing. And we ate our words. So what we're saying is what roster will make us eat our words on, well, they probably won't be very good. And then you look at what they've done.
the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they're just not very good.
No, I'm just saying.
Why do
I
we
think they'll
never
win 8
eat our
games.
words on the Detroit Lions?
They'll win 8 games this year.
Man.
You know, I'd love for the Lions to be.
Everyone's
better.
a Lions fan.
Everyone's because
know.
because you know
Unless
what?
you're a
they
Packers
love the
fan.
player.
No, but
Barry
even the
Sanders,
Packers.
Barry Sanders, and Megatron. How do you hate those players?
Yeah, it's not a rivalry.
Everyone loves those guys.
Deep down, Packer fans cannot hate Detroit.
It
Other
is
than
a rivalry because we still beat them. We don't go farther than them, but we still beat them.
See that makes sense though because
So in the regular season, we might split a
I mean,
series.
like,
It's possible.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I don't know what
possible.
the relationship between a Green Bay fan and a Lions fan is. So I can
Hey,
understand
shout out
that.
to Ndamukong Suh.
weird cat.
like he's dead somewhere. Like
Yeah.
shout out to
I found
Wakanda
that. I
forever,
found
like-
that at Salvation Army with the name ripped off. Somebody was mad at the Detroit Lions. It was like, I'm gonna still wear the jersey.
So Ndamukong Suh probably, I don't know, he may have had a week or two where he was able to make case maker, which is our next segment. And that is where we discuss who had their case by saying, okay, I had the best week. Who made their case, and a couple different guys came up, and the first one that we immediately thought of was Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Vladdy J,
He hit not one.
not 2,
How many?
but 3 dingers. See you later. Get out of there.
One
It
was
gone.
like 450 feet.
Yeah,
it was.
that was
And
no
here's-
doubt.
Here's the thing too, he got spiked. So if you don't know what that means, if a cleat goes on any part of your skin during a baseball game, that's you got
Yeah.
spiked. So
got
he
spiked.
stretched out. He got stretched out trying to make a play at first, put his hand down, and the runner stepped on his hand.
He still made the play, didn't he?
And I think so, but he went out of the game for a quick second, and then he comes running back in to hit another home run.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like, no big deal. So he hit 3 home runs in one game. That's, you have to be pretty good to even make this for consideration, but he didn't even win.
Yeah.
He is not our case maker
No.
because in one of the most epic playoff games involving the Boston Celtics, when you think of McHale, Bird, Bob Cousy, all those guys, Paul Pierce, and now
Ray Allen, all those guys. Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
Taters.
Man, they were down by 1. The game went back and forth. First of all, really great defensive possession where Luigi and I were watching this together, and we could not believe. I was saying it the whole time. 2 for 1, 2 for 1, go for 2 for 1.
Mm-hmm.
They had a chance while up 1 to get a 2 for 1. Instead, Kyrie, all of those drills that you see on Instagram where he's dribbling the ball.
Yep.
Cool. How'd that work out for you? He did it. He dribbled for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, threw it to KD, who's getting de-upped massively.
And
KD
he
throws
only
a-
has like 4 seconds to throw up a terrible shot.
Yeah, terrible
Yeah.
shot. Boston comes with it. The smartest thing they did to not call timeout. They talked about that later. They did not want the defense to get set. So they don't call a timeout. They work it around. Marcus Smart makes 2 guys jump up in the air, and now we're playing 4-on-3. I like those odds, which we'll talk about later. So then it's 4-on-3. All of a sudden, who loses their man? Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant loses his man, which is only an all-star.
Put him in the spin cycle.
It's only an all-star, Jason Tatum. Like KD.
You
bro.
may want to figure out where that guy's at.
You might want to
by the way.
regrow your hair
He's okay.
and then guard someone.
And
like,
this is the thing. They had a timeout and they didn't call it. They let it run. And let's go over Tatum's game winner. They win 114 to 115. 115 to 114. I'm sorry.
Stop. Reverse that.
31 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and a game winner, which another person that could have been, if it went the other way, would be Kyrie, because he had 39 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, and told a fan to S my seat.
now those 39 points, that is also pretty impressive because he had 39 dribbles in that last possession. So
A point per
actually,
dribble.
Yeah,
A little bit.
and told a fan to S my seat.
Remember when Klay Thompson had like 27 points and he had the ball for a total of 2 seconds or something like bizarre? Like with Kyrie, it's like the exact opposite. Like he had the ball for 19 minutes.
Yes.
Cool. He scored 38.
Kyrie should be worried less about getting vaccinated than making baskets in clutch moments or finding an open man and playing defense.
It was bad.
Kyrie had other things on his mind apparently than the game also yesterday.
Incense? Did he do that?
I don't know.
Before the game,
It's maybe
he
because
does like
It was
incense.
sage. It was
sage.
sage.
Yeah.
It's sage. It's sage.
This is how bad I am. For me, my brain, I'm like, yeah, same thing. I don't know.
It's the evil spirits, bro.
Yeah. So, case maker definitely be Jason Tatum. Now, in our next segment,
we forgot about somebody that is another honorable mention just because he's 87 and had his first touchdown in like 20 years. Not literally 20 years, but Terrell Owens plays in the football league that
where the fans can call the plays.
So obviously, if Terrell Owens is on the team, like my
You're gonna
ass,
say-
my ass is on Twitter like
Run the ball.
T-O-T-O-T.
And here's the thing. It was the last play of the game, and no matter what happened, his team was going to lose.
Yeah.
And it was at the buzzer. And the quarterback just threw it up.
It's at
The other
it's a
team is
50-50
tweeting.
ball. With a 50-year-old man jumping in a league that only has 7 people in it that the fans have called. Shout out to him. Like what are we talking? Like really?
Terrell was like, I done that, son.
So
Like way to go, Terrell.
I heard then he started like recording
Feed the baby. Feed the baby.
or the popcorn.
Yeah.
Or the cell phone. He
Yeah,
did
the
all
cell-
of them.
he had
He
the-
hit all of
he
them.
did all of them.
It was like a Fortnite emote.
He ate
now
all
it's
of
going to
them.
be on Fortnite. Like,
here's the thing. We didn't forget. I wasn't going to mention that because he's 50.
but that's why it's funny.
In a 7-man league that I call it, it's like Madden except you don't control the ball.
Also,
Yeah.
runner-ups, too, is Terry McLaurin, A.J. Brown, and Debo for going to OTAs but not participating. So they're playing games and eating food. And I wish I could do that and still get contract negotiation. Like, they have the upper hand. So they might have almost made it. But Jason Tatum shot heard around the world again.
Yeah.
Might have been a little bit bigger than Beers, but Beers was just awesome. So
Yeah, when your last name is Beer and
Yeah.
you hit a home run on Beer Day, you're going to make case maker.
yep.
So
So that's our.
if it was like if his last name was game winning
winner.
shot day, like game winner, like say it real
If
fast.
your name's game-winning
Oh, it
shot
sounds
and you
German.
make a
Oh,
game-winning
we
shot.
also
Game-winning shot.
forgot the USFL. Okay, we're good. We covered that. Now we're good.
Yeah.
onto our
no,
case
yeah.
locks.
No one cares. Yeah.
Who?
Who cares?
All right, thanks.
So,
Jeff Fisher's in USFL.
oh
Yeah,
gosh.
they lost.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
I
Big
think that
facts.
team's going to be 500.
They're going to be 8-8 like
That's
every
Just like
eight-
the Detroit
like
Lions.
every
8-8.
St. Louis Rams team that Jeff Fisher.
That's an 8 and 8
Like the
BS
Lions?
right there.
I wonder if
Lions
Luigi's a
and-
Rams fan.
Not at all.
Yeah. So, all right, next segment is case locks, and that's where we get into what our bets were, where we were right, where we were wrong, and where we can make it up to you with this week. So we are going into this week 7-5, and last week was kind of funny because Caleb had Yu Darvish for the Padres going against my San Francisco Giants, and Yu Darvish lasted about 8 seconds, and then he gave up 8 runs, and we crushed him. And then what's funny about that is right fielder Will Myers came in and pitched and gave up 2 home runs back to back.
Yeah.
That's just always funny.
And-
Here comes the right fielder to throw a lob ball.
Yeah.
And Wilmer Flores and Joey Bart just
this
hit it
is
out.
this is a thing. The day before Monday when we recorded the podcast, Padres won 4-2.
And that
and
made
I'm
you
like-
mad.
And
because
I
you're
literally
like,
texted him. I was
Yeah,
like,
you're
we're
like,
going to
oh,
lose
they
tomorrow.
screwed it up,
We're going
yeah.
to lose tomorrow. And then Darvish has 2 strikeouts, where Alex Cobb, 10 Ks,
yeah,
and Will Myers
no big deal.
has a horrible ERA.
So
Will Myers shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, Will Myers shouldn't do that again. So, or if he's playing the Giants, do it every time. All right, so we were 7-5, like I said. Caleb had Yu Darvish. That went negative for him. I had the Brooklyn Nets. They won.
115, 108.
Yep, against.
The Brooklyn, they won against the Cavs,
Yes, Kibby's Cavs.
which aren't going to be in the Final Four because they lost 2 games straight.
Yeah. So, and then what was our parlay? That
So
we had?
our parlay that we had were the T-Wolves over the Clippers, and they won 109, 104. Told you so. We locked them.
And
we
then,
locked them.
and then Patrick Beverly got fined for his antics because they acted like they won the NBA championship,
Yeah.
bro. Like, will you calm down? Thanks.
Well, it is the
It's-
T-Wolves in the playoffs.
But it's
so-
Patrick Beverly too. The guy's like he's like a 12-year vet.
He's a 12-year vet, but the
And he's acting like a-
but also like the Clippers probably treated him shady when he went. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's his old team. He's still old, and
Here's
he's
the
still
thing.
in the
Everyone
playoffs. They're not.
He also did a punk move with Paul in the back. Patrick Beverly is a
no, he's a punk.
he's a jerk. He's a
no,
punk.
he is a punk.
He's a punk.
But he's one of those guys you like him when he's on your
Yeah,
team.
he's your punk.
If
He's still I think he's still a punk even if he's on your team.
well, yeah, but if he's on the Lakers, as a Laker fan, you can't tell me
Yeah,
you'd
but
be like,
he's still
I know. But if he was on the Warriors, I would be like, that's my guy.
That's my
That's his
But there's-
Draymond
there's a
Green.
difference
So
between-
that's his Draymond Green.
I think
Oh,
there's
it's not
I
that
think there's a
bad.
difference.
Draymond's-
You can't be
okay,
serious.
Zaza.
No, that was one time. Zaza
I
Pachulia
think
is
there's
not that guy either.
No. I think there's a difference
because he
between
stuck
being a
his foot out one
grinder
time.
and being dirty. I think Patrick Beverly is a little bit on close to like Bruce Bowen was always on the dirty side.
Yeah,
school.
there's
Or
grinder.
Dirty Deli. Deladova. I hate that
Deladova.
guy.
How did that guy's name mentioned in our podcast?
I don't know.
How did that happen?
And Matt never would have dreamed it.
Yeah, and
All right.
never will it happen again either.
So T-Wolves win 109, 104. We had the Dodgers over the Reds on Thursday, April 14th. We didn't even have to go into it. 9-3 killing.
yep,
Giants over the Guardians.
they swept
of
them.
The Guardians of last place.
So the Guardians of the Guardians. Let me tell you something. The Guardians did not guard Cleveland all that well.
No, they did not do a good job
They did not
so far.
guard anything.
So far,
because Cleveland lost 3
Cleveland's
times
still
in
open.
3 days.
They
Cleveland's
had a lot of-
open for anything.
And they
It's
had a
not
lot of
being guarded.
errors. Like they did not guard well at all.
No. So we hit the par. And
Yeah,
that's
we hit
what
the
matters.
parlay.
That's the big money line. All of it. We got it good. We ready for our next one?
Brings our record to
9-6.
right. So not
so
bad.
We're still positive.
So this week, I'll give you my pick, then you guys give what our
Okay.
picks are, right? So this week on 420, smoke 'em if you got 'em, is I have the Bulls are supposed to lose by 10, is what Vegas thinks. I think they cover. I don't think they'll necessarily win, but I don't think they'll get 10-pieced. So I'll take the Bulls actually against Giannis and his boys.
I like that.
I
I think the
actually-
Bulls are grind. I think the Bucks will run that series, but I
Yeah,
think it's going to
no
be a grinder
question.
series.
No question.
I think it's a grinder series to the whole thing.
So-
I actually hate you because this is the 5th time in a row that we both were going to pick the same thing.
because
Yeah,
on
no, it's a
purpose,
good- it's a good
purpose,
pick.
we don't discuss these
Yeah.
Yes.
beforehand
but
to see. But
great
then
minds think alike. So just because of that, I'm taking my Sixers over Toronto in game 3 because we're going to lose tonight.
okay, so Luigi has what are all of ours parlays
Yeah.
for this week.
All right. So here's the parlay. On Tuesday, the 19th, it'll be the White Sox over the Cleveland Guardians, as we just mentioned.
Because it's everyone over Cleveland.
Because apparently, it's always they're going to lose all the games.
Cleveland, this is for you.
If a team can lose 130 of them, the
It's-
Guardians might be able to
Yeah.
do it.
Instead of Cleveland rocks, it's Cleveland sucks.
Yeah, Cleveland doesn't rock this year.
Drew Carey, not a fan of the show.
The Guardians is nobody. That's the first game. On
All right.
Wednesday, the 20th, which is 420, which that's smoke if you got them.
Yep.
It's the 76ers over the Raptors. That's a money line bet.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was okay.
So, you
Or
got to
am I
change
not?
yours.
Am I? Yeah, I'll change mine.
Yeah, change
But
it. Go ahead and look
All
while
right.
he's
look,
doing
yeah,
that.
you're good.
And then the other one is the Nets over the Celtics.
Like it.
Yeah, because we kind of are saying what? That
You think Kyrie is going? Kyrie, you don't think KD is going to have the same game?
there's no way. He shot like
four for something.
Yeah, and then really bad possessions at the end of the game.
And he didn't look right. He didn't have the killer mentality that KD usually has in the last 6 minutes of that game, does he?
And I think also that guys like Patty Mills, Goran Dragic will step up in this game as well, and they're not going to go down 2-0. Now they may lose another game for sure, but not
the next game.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Not the very next game.
So that's our parlay.
I got my lock.
All right. So what is?
I need a hero. Tyler Hero. Tomorrow, Miami Heat lock them in for the money line. Right now they're -7, but I'll take the money line over the Hawks.
Okay. Heat over Hawks.
Yep.
That means they're going up 2-0.
Yeah.
All right. So Trae Young probably not going to get it done.
No.
Is your lock?
Well, Clint Capella's still out too.
That's fair.
And
Trae Young kind of have a worse game than he did yesterday.
And we can get back to that later.
Yes, because that'll come up probably later for sure. So,
but not so fast.
Not so fast, my friend Lee Corso. So, best case scenario is one of our favorite segments because it's basically our version of a top 5 list. So we say, hey, best case scenario, if you're going on a date with a girl and you're going to watch a movie, right? We discussed that before. So best case scenario today is, what is your favorite city that you have not been to that would be on your top 5 of where you'd want to visit, right? Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is, since this is our first show with 3 people, the way we're going to do it today is I'll give you my number 1, Caleb will give you his number 1, and then Luigi's going to give you his top 5.
No, I was just going to give my number 3.
I have a top 5 list. I'll give you the
random,
fourth one out of the list in random order.
You decide.
And then next week I'll text you something else.
I'll post the list later on Twitter.
I'll put a poll out there later on.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Please tell me Cleveland's not on your top 5.
The Cleveland Guardians is number 12 in the top 10 list.
Of best places to be.
A place to be.
Because it makes you feel better about yourself.
It makes you feel better about yourself. Looking at the Cleveland Guardians.
Okay. So, all right. So, Luigi, your best case scenario, we give you 5 cities that we will fly you to for free. What are you the most excited about? Actually, first here. So, mine is Venice, Italy.
Okay.
That's my number 1. I've always been, kind of really wanting to see Italy in general, and I feel like that's the most famous spot. So to get somewhere by boat, kind of is their thing. So that's mine. Caleb, what's yours?
So mine's the Bahamas because I haven't been there in a week.
He's a big dumb animal, isn't he, folks?
But no, I want to go back, to actually go to the Bahamas. And here's what I'm saying: we went to 5 minutes into the island. Because when we were at Nassau, we were on a catamaran for 4 hours. Snorkeling, seeing the fish. So we were in the water. We weren't really on the land. Then we went on land. We went to the beach for 20 minutes.
You were in the ocean is what you were in.
Yeah.
But not the actual Bahamas. You didn't feel the sand.
I did for 20 minutes, but that doesn't count. That's
I don't
not
think
exploring.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like being at an airport somewhere. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
So I'd actually want to go in. I met a lot of cool people, and I bought some stuff while we were at the shops. But I want to be able to immerse myself in culture and be able to do that.
Nice.
Yeah, you're a white guy from the Midwest. Not too much culture going on. Huh?
So much Bahaman culture.
Oh my God.
Culture.
All the culture. There's cheese curds and wings in this town.
Tommy want wingy.
Yeah, we know. All right, so lay it on us. What's your top 5?
My top 5 is mine is also Italy, but it's Rome.
Yeah,
I feel like it's internal city. It's the culture, the whole thing.
What I love about this list is I don't feel like people need too much arguing behind because they're. I feel like most of these are going to be oh yeah, me too, right?
Wait.
It's going to be obvious.
It's not Kenosha or whatever.
Yeah.
I do want to go to Cleveland. It's my bucket list of life.
So
Sheboygan.
Is Rome your number 1?
Rome is my number 1.
Oh, so he started out with number 1.
My number 1. So I could have went backwards, but I figured I'll go this way.
You didn't go back when Julius Caesar was still alive when you were younger?
Is that an old joke, Caleb? I like how you did that. I like how you did that one. I like how you snuck that in.
He was 7, right?
Yeah, I was just a child then. I didn't have a passport when I was 4.
Hey,
people,
really,
come
we
on
were
now.
talking. I came up with the top 5, but he wouldn't let me. I was gonna say
Good.
top 5 things to do during the Depression since Luigi was alive.
Play with dirt. Look at the ground.
Eat dirt.
Hope this radio turns into a TV.
So here's
Throw rocks at your broke dad.
So here, I hesitate to say it. Oh man, it's the joke. It's the easy joke. I'm not gonna do it.
You can do it.
The top 4 things to do during the Depression was your mom, but
Shout out to Mama Jude.
Mama Jude.
but see that was the I didn't want to do that.
No,
one.
that's
No,
good.
that's-
I didn't want to
It's
do that. It
gold,
was
Jerry.
so easy.
It's gold,
It
Jerry.
was so easy.
I mean, if I came at you, I expect you to come back. That's only fair. And
So-
I laughed. So
Oh my gosh.
So my number 2 place I'd like to go to
Anywho.
is Barcelona, Spain.
Barcelona would be great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 3 would be Ibiza,
I took a pill in Ibiza.
and then
That's all
number
I can do.
4 would be Monte Carlo because
Oh,
I just
man.
want to do the James Bond walk-in.
Dun, dun,
That's
dun.
yeah.
And then my top, this is not so much a city as it is just a thing. It's more of an event. It's the Northern Lights. I
That'd
think
be-
that would be just ridiculous to see.
Sure.
That's
Like Alaska.
yeah,
right?
Alaska.
Or-
would be- yeah,
Canada, Alaska. There's like a bunch of
Whatever's
places that
north.
you
Oh
can
hey,
just-
oh hey.
Oh
yeah.
hey, the
Yeah.
lights. Hey.
I know it's going to be cold. and
Caleb's
it's gonna be
wearing a
north.
Canadian tuxedo.
He is
actually, looks
wearing
like,
a little bit, and he's wearing shorts.
with no undershirt.
I'm wearing four. I'm wearing four sweaters
Right.
right
It is
now.
cold outside.
And
I
he's,
thought the suit was coming, but it didn't.
you know what? I didn't realize you guys filmed things. That's why I didn't wear the
Suit up.
suit.
So one time we're gonna do my top 5 Merinos of all time. You may or may not be
Right.
on that list.
You may
Because
not be on
we
that
may
list.
be beat the berserk out of you.
Yes.
You may
or
not be on that
you
list
might
anymore.
be 5 just because I had to move out because of you, but
So I took your. I took your space.
you
Took your
made me
place.
homeless. No.
You made me
Man.
homeless.
I stole your house and then did a mom joke on your show. I feel that's terrible. That's awful.
Nah, we'll let it slide. All right, so we have to get into our biggest case is state your case, and that is where we debate our case for or against each other. And today we're talking what is the biggest X factor for the NBA playoffs. Okay, so mine is the health of the Splash Brothers, and that's not even just being a homer. I think a lot of people have the Warriors to do really well, but I think that's the X factor is Steph was able to come off the bench and not necessarily perform because Jordan Poole from
Michigan.
played his butt off and went off. And so, but obviously Steph is needed. Obviously Clay is needed. So that's mine. Good luck going against that one.
Well, mine was going to be chemistry among players. So we talked about the Heat, and with all the things that have gone on in the locker room and outside, like information and guys getting on each other, it's either going to help them or hinder them. There's no middle of the road.
Yeah.
They're either going to be way better because of it or way worse because of it. And that's why I picked them, because I think that it will bring them together. I think they got a lot of dogs. I think they got a lot of leadership. And so for mine was the Heat and them coming together after coaching issues with coaches, issues with different players, and guys spreading rumors, and then the media gets a hold of it, and then it's the whole thing.
Yeah. I like the Heat's team. I like their players. I like a lot of that stuff that they have. I don't know if they'll make it to the finals per se, but
No, yeah.
I like them to at least advance and make some noise. What about you? What's Luigi's biggest?
I think I'm pretty specific on this one, and I will say that I think the biggest X factor is out of the Valley of the Sun. I think I don't even know if it's Chris Paul's health as much as it's Devin Booker's health.
It's Chris Paul.
Is it Chris Paul's health or
Yes,
Devin Booker's?
because-
It's one of those two guards, though. I think this season,
Who is more important?
see, and here,
Chris Paul, because Devin Booker without Chris Paul has to go hard 1,000%
Well,
of the time.
we can say this:
James
Devin
Harden-
Booker.
now
Here-
let me state my case of why Devin Booker is more important
Okay.
because
You
Chris
go-
Paul
you
here
go ahead.
last year obviously was the Chris Paul, I'm the leader. This literally is, I'm 37 years old. I can still put up the numbers, but here you go, young buck. This is your team.
Yeah, that's
and,
fair.
And Devin Booker, dude can score. He could shoot. I mean, guy could drop 60 anytime. We know all the stuff about him. Here's the thing. He's one of those, and I bring up because I am a Laker guy, he's one of those Kobe guys that Kobe took under his wing.
Oh, yeah.
And those dudes can ball, and
So
those
was
guys
our
have the
case
killer.
maker.
Yes.
So was our case maker.
Yes.
So if you want to do a
Tatum.
case maker, you give me Kobe at any point. Devin Booker, he's not Kobe, but if he's a kid that Kobe looked at and said, yeah, you have it, young man, then this young man
Yeah.
has it.
Yes.
I will say Devin Booker is the most important thing in these playoffs.
So I am biased on that, and I agree with what you're saying. My issue with is I'm a huge Harden fan, and I watch Harden.
I'm sorry for you.
I watched Harden choke away a playoffs because he didn't have Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul got hurt in the playoffs on a play that didn't matter with 10 seconds left in the game, and age was a factor. Fun fact: did you guys know that Chris Paul was born in the same hospital on the same day Luigi was?
I'm much older than Chris Paul, by the
Right.
way. Yeah, Chris. I wish I was Chris Paul's age.
Crazy thing, at real stat, Devin Booker lived in Grand Rapids, Michigan at one point in time.
Interesting.
Yeah, my cousin went to school with him.
I will say this, going back to your thing, I agree that Chris Paul was needed at that time, but I will also say this.
Now
You
he's
may
not
be a
needed.
Harden, may be a Harden guy, but Devin Booker is better at what Devin Booker does and he could take over a team. I'm more comfortable giving Devin Booker the keys to my team than I am with Harden at any point in his career. So,
Your team is in any team or the Suns?
well, right now it's the Suns, and it's right now.
Yeah.
Then I give him the keys, and I think Chris Paul obviously is smart enough to know that, and he could play. Not that he's going to play at 100. He doesn't have to play at 100% all the time and die for a ball
Yeah.
during 10 seconds. Now
Yeah.
Devin Booker's going to die for the ball
Yeah.
because it's his team now.
And maybe get hurt.
And that's why it's important that he doesn't get hurt.
Okay, so who's also throwing DeAndre Ayton? I mean, is he more important to stay healthy?
Well, you could say that about any big three at that point. Now we're just talking about who's.
But I'm just saying because
that could be a
he's
Durant
because-
versus.
And here's where I'm getting to, and we'll revert back. The MVP chase is down to 3, and they're all 3 centers, and they're all 3 in the playoffs. So when it comes to winning a championship, do you have somebody to guard Jokic? Do you have somebody to guard
Sure.
Giannis? Do you have somebody to guard
Right.
Normally, I would say
Joel Embiid? If you get that far into the finals, most of those guys would be in the finals.
So-
or else-
Those big men, there is a guy in Phoenix who
Okay,
can guard those guys, and his
that's what I'm
name is Ayton. Now, obviously, if he gets hurt, then but if Embiid gets hurt tomorrow, then 76ers are getting out of the first round.
So
Right.
so who did you say could guard him from Phoenix?
Well, Ayton has to guard Embiid. We're talking.
No, I'm saying
what
if
do we-
Aiden goes down.
oh, they don't have anybody.
Oh,
That's
no.
that's more
yeah.
of my argument now. It's like
Well, Ayton is a big man, and put it this way: if your starting big men go down, 99% of the time, it's going to change your entire dynamic,
Exactly.
especially in the playoffs.
Atlanta Hawks,
and
Clint
is-
Capella.
And especially if he's a top one. I mean, he's number one pick in the. I mean, he's supposed to be a thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you now, Bam Adebayo is having 20 points and probably like 5 dunks tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
that's why I locked them in because Clint Capella's presence won't be.
Because there's no one to guard him, and
Yes.
and you're 100% right. But like I said, the dynamic of the Suns, I think they've been the best team in the league since day one.
Oh, I'm all for Suns, all for Booker,
And
all for.
they-
I just kind of want to play devil's advocate.
No,
and
yeah,
get
and
your
I
point when we're
agree. But
wrong.
like I said, you could say that about a lot of teams. Like I said, I still think Devin Booker is the most important person in this entire playoff situation.
And that's
him
fine.
and
I agree
him
with you.
and the Greek Freak are the two most important players
Okay.
because I do still think Milwaukee is still there, and I don't think the East.
Dude,
I don't think
dude.
76ers did enough to beat that Greek Freak running at 7 foot tall, just doing his thing.
Yeah, I think Phoenix has all the pieces. The one factor for them is again the health of the Warriors, because if they are healthy, you can't make too many arguments that will say, "Oh no, the Warriors don't have a
Yeah.
chance." Yes, they do.
It's only because
Yes, they do.
because everyone's been so hurt. It's hard to play as a team again.
And that's
And
why
that's
I'm
the only
saying-
reason why
Oh,
I don't. I think
for sure.
if the Warriors started right now and Clay's never going to be Clay, but if he was
Right.
even Clay right now at the start of the season and he kept playing for 60 games, say, then the Warriors might
Now
be.
the last 5 games of the year, Clay went off.
Yeah. Yes.
And if he does that, and then Steph comes back and gets even 20 a game,
Yeah, and Poole's
with
not a
Jordan
bad,
Poole,
Yeah.
I mean,
That kid.
good. So that's why I'm saying,
So, but you're saying that like if LeBron James gets hurt in the playoffs, then
Well,
Devin
he-
Booker's more important.
he's not. Well, no.
Wait,
we're all
LeBron
stating
James
he's
is
not in the playoffs.
playoffs.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. We
All right.
we got
Yeah.
that.
So Devin
yeah.
Booker,
Yeah,
you win your
yeah,
case on
yeah.
that one.
I'm surprised Luigi knows so much about the playoffs when
Playoffs?
his team's not even in it.
Neither is well.
Yeah. The Lakers. I'm just basking in the glow of my Rams, my LA Rams win. I'm a Dodger
Hey.
fan, so I'm okay. And
Matthew Stafford, bro.
the one
I'll take
year
that.
the
I'll take
Lakers,
that.
so
We'll
I'm okay.
reunite.
I'm okay.
So all the bad jokes aside, I was riding with you on that Rams Super Bowl for my boy Matty.
You know what's funny is every Detroit Lion fans is a giant kind of a Rams substitute
for
fan
sure.
because they love Matthew Stafford.
He
Tell you
did
something.
great things. He did great things for
Dude's
for us.
Dude's a great guy.
Yeah.
Good player, good man,
Good husband. Good
yeah,
wife.
good husband.
Just
Cute
watch
kids.
out if someone falls off a podium because he
Well,
has
he'll
no
just watch
time
out.
for
Oh,
that.
we
He
are
will
not
literally
getting-
just
we
watch.
are
Nobody got
not
time for
getting
that.
into
Ain't nobody
that.
got time
I
for
would have
that.
looked at her and been like,
I'm the quarterback. I just won a Super Bowl. What? I'll call
happening?
somebody.
his wife was more nurturing.
Yeah, that's why he married her. I bet.
That's why he married her.
Well, that's gonna do it for this week's show. Thank you to Luigi for
always end with
hanging
Matthew
out.
Stafford.
Yeah, we always got to end the show with a Matthew Stafford joke. So it was right on cue. So we will see you next week on A Case for the Mondays.
See ya.